We know that access to energy drives economy, and economy is good, strong economy is good for society. Therefore, access to energy is good for society, and I think it's important that we remember that access to energy is a good thing for society.
You know, as we look at our corporate responsibility agenda, we ask ourselves, you know, what does it mean for a company like Weatherford to have wider responsibility than simply the development of profits for shareholders? And then you can quickly get into, well, a career for our employees and so on and so forth, and supporting local communities in which we work. But the heart of it, what's our wider purpose? And I felt for a long time that our purpose is about developing energy resources and providing for the world. And as I talked about a few minutes ago, I really believe that, you know, the world needs energy. What I didn't say is that although I find it inevitable, well, there's no point saying I find it inevitable, a low hydrocarbon future is inevitable for the world. Just when does that occur? And I believe it's a long bridge from where we are today to a low hydrocarbon future. And oil and gas is absolutely part of that bridge. So we've been here a long time. It's a heartland for us, and it's going to remain that way for a long time. I mean, it's, you know, the North Sea goes through its various cycles. It's a challenging place to do business. I don't mean for us to do business, but it's a challenging place for the industry because of its particular circumstances. But it continues to thrive. I mean, look at it today. The business is, I mean, I'll say it's booming, but certainly there's a lot of activity of finding new oil and gas reserves, driving out recovery. As long as oil and gas companies are here, I think Weatherford will be here providing those services. It's a challenging place for us to break into with some of our newer products and services, but as a heartland, we're absolutely here and we belong here. Above all things, the oil and gas industry treasures stability. Here, particularly because of the way the reserves are, the fact that there's some part of 30 billion barrels still left to produce in reserves that are probably close to existing infrastructure. We need to encourage the life of that infrastructure to carry on in order to be able to access those reserves. Otherwise, they're going to be gone. And it's not just they're going to be gone for Weatherford, or they're going to be gone for the oil and gas companies here. They're going to be gone for Britain, and we've got to make the most of them for our country. They're a legacy, and we have to access them. So if I was a politician, I think I'd be thinking about it in those terms, as well as the short-term expediency which seems to dominate decision-making in politics sometimes. Aberdeen's become more than an oil capital of Europe. The expertise that's been built here in, well, since the early 70s, late 60s, is actually another form of legacy. There's a whole other discussion. But I think it's a legacy that we will do well to exploit. And I think, as well as just looking internally to the North Sea, we should look at what capability we have here in the United Kingdom, centred around Aberdeen for oil and gas, and see what else we could do to help the world. So I talk about energy security for the United Kingdom. There's a number of ways you could think about how you can use your legacy knowledge and capability that's been built up in this city for a long time, and perhaps use that in the wider sense. But naturally, the market will help that as well. So, as we talked about, shortage of good people, shortage of talent. If it's here, it will get dragged one way or another into places that need it, and that's what happens. I don't think independence or politics will get in the way of those particular market forces.